control the view on your screen, but as you can probably see, we've got two people on your screen right now. You got me sitting in the office. You got Luis, or you're going to hear me refer to him as Huicho all day. Huicho is out of the property tour. We're going to get to him in just a minute. But welcome, everybody. We got folks checking in from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Welcome from Colorado. Good morning from Citrus Heights. Welcome, everybody. If you're just joining us, go to the chat. Let us know where you're logging in from. We're going to give people just about another minute, and then we're going to get this party started. It's going to be a fantastic, fantastic property tour. I'm excited you guys are with us today. I hope you're excited to learn about real estate. You're excited to learn how you can find, fund, fix, and flip property, because that's going to be our conversation today. And it's going to be a good one. This house that Huicho is at it'll blow your mind. The profit potential on this house is just unbelievable. So you've made a good decision to join us this morning. So congratulations. Let me know where you guys are logging in from. Go down to the chat. Let me know where you're coming in from. We got another one from San Diego. Welcome, everybody. This property is going to be amazing. Somebody just commented and says, hey, I cannot wait to see the property from San Diego. So welcome in San Diego. Good to have you with us this morning. We're going to give folks just a few more moments to log on, and we are going to get this party started. I apologize, folks. If you see me looking over here, that's because my camera is this way, but my screen is here where I see all of you guys and what you're logging in from. So my apologies. One of these days, I suppose I should just put a webcam above this monitor, but I haven't done that yet. So we're going to roll with it like this. But welcome from East Texas. Right on. Welcome from Texas. Good morning to everybody. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. We are about to get this party started. So we are joining from all over the country today. We got representation in Colorado. We got representation in Texas. We got people logging in from California, all over California. And you guys are in for a treat today. So I'm going to go ahead and bring down the music. We're going to get this party started. It's fun. As you can see on screen, I've got my good friend Luis Medina with me. We refer to him as Huicho. And so if I try to even call him Luis, it messes with my brain. So if you hear Huicho, that's what I'm talking about. But Huicho's out of the property, and it was so funny. He called me like it was about 10, 15 minutes ago. He's like, oh my gosh, Kendall, we got a big problem. And I'm thinking, what's the problem? What happened? Has the city come by and red tagged your house? Because when he bought it, that was the case. And I'm thinking that no longer can we do a property tour. Well, here's the fun thing, folks. This property tour that we're going to do today, you're working with an investor that has so many properties going on, he grabbed the wrong set of keys to this particular house. So, Huicho, how did you do that, man? I mean, I've never done that before.
It's kind of embarrassing, man. But you know what? I have all my keys with those little labeling circles as a keychain to the key. And I just grabbed the wrong set. I grabbed the wrong set. I come to the door and I'm fighting with the doorknob. I'm like, what's wrong, And in my mind, I'm thinking somebody changed the locks. And then I look at the label, it's not even the right house. So I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God. That's okay, because you got the keys. The keys are being delivered to you right now as we speak. So we're gonna start the conversation, and the keys are gonna be there in just a couple of minutes. But man, I gave up on those little tag keychains years ago. And I buy a lockbox for every single house, and I throw my keys on the lockbox because I just can't keep track of them. It's a good problem to have, folks, and that's why I'm sure you guys are here today, is to learn how to have that problem. So I'm excited that Huicho's with us. We're going to have him talk about this house in just a minute. Huicho, do me a favor. Just give us a quick exterior tour of the property. Show us what we're going to see on the exterior today.
Right on. Okay, so I'm actually sitting in the backyard because it's a main street, so it's super busy. There's cars just flying by. So I thought, okay, I'll go to the back just for audio purposes. But let me switch the camera over. And there you go. This is where we're at right now. Tons of trees, and we found this motorhome there. You can see the trash, cars, tools, one of those old satellite dishes. This is what it looks like now. This is all this trash still remains after 7 container fulls of trash. Not even the homeowner's personal belongings. Those are still in the garage and in the house, which you'll see some of. Um, look at the fence. I mean, this is thrashed. All the concrete has to come out. You can see just the concrete is messed up by all the tree trunks. This is like a roller coaster type thing. I mean, like for skateboarding, it'd be perfect, right?
Oh my
But
God.
it's a mess.
Yeah, you could. That's an understatement. Somebody made in the comments, they're like, man, this looks like a junkyard. Looks like a junkyard
Yeah.
or a really bad campground.
Yep. We had a balcony there. I don't know if you guys recall from the first property tour we had here during acquisition. There was a old rotted balcony there. It was so given that when we stripped the carpet and threw it over the top of the balcony, it like the planks just like went. They just turned into dust.
Oh my gosh. Holy,
So we're waiting for the key.
You definitely don't want to be walking out that door. Well, folks, as Weicho continues to show us a little bit of what's going on. Oh, there's a little bit of a view inside. Oh my gosh, there's still all that trash inside.
We'll get in there.
While he's waiting for the keys to show up, let me jump over here to the whiteboard and let's have a quick conversation while he's waiting for the key to show up. He can continue to walk around. You can see the views of the house from the exterior. But welcome to our property tour. We are a group of real estate investors all over the country, and you're invited today to come join us, to come see who we are, what we do. And my invitation to you is to take a serious look at us and then come get started. Chances are you've been wanting to get started in real estate for quite some time. There's a lot of questions coming in saying, hey, where is this property? This property is in Ontario, California. So it's just about 45 minutes north of where I'm currently located. But Ontario, California, and in just a few minutes, as Weicho is showing you the exterior here, we're going to talk about 4 major things today. We're going to talk about how to find, fund, fix, and flip this particular property. Now, we do all types of real estate investing. It's not just fix and flips. We've done everything from buy and hold properties all the way to land development, commercial real estate. In fact, Weicho was my guest on Wednesday night, and he shared with us he's doing an 84 unit development, a ground up build, 84 units. So we've got everything. We cover everything, from ground all the way to skyscrapers. So you've been wanting to get into real estate for quite some time, and there's usually 4 main reasons of why people don't invest. I want you guys to do me a favor, and I want you to go to the chat and welcome everybody that's logging in. You guys are logging in from all over the country. Congratulations for being here. Welcome. If you haven't gone to the chat, if you haven't found the chat yet, I want you to do me a favor, go over to the chat line and tell me what is the number 1 reason that you're not investing in real estate. If you want to be in this game, but you haven't started yet, what's the number 1 thing holding you back? And let's go ahead and put that in the chat real quick, and let's see where everybody lands. Okay, the biggest obstacle. What is the number 1 thing holding you back from investing in real estate? Okay, so I'm seeing people are coming over there saying, all right, some people are saying I am investing, but oftentimes it's money that holds me back. It's capital, funds, money. Oh my gosh, look at that. So many of the things today are money, money, money. So as we look at this, there's 4 main reasons why people don't invest. The biggest one is lack of knowledge. Even people that are saying, hey, I don't have the capital to do this business. Would you agree that it's the lack of knowledge to know how to go out and get capital? Because in this business, you don't have to use your own money to invest in real estate. So lack of knowledge is a huge reason. Somebody also said lack of time. We're busy. Okay, we don't have the time to go out there and find the properties, fund them, fix them, and flip them. Now, capital, lack of money or credit, yep, that's a big one. I'm not going to discount that. I'm not going to say that doesn't exist, because you better believe it does. Lack of money, lack of credit. But the biggest one that typically holds people back is fear. False evidence appearing real. We got something that's holding us back. We're fearful to go take the next step because, oh my gosh, what if we lose money? What if we do something wrong? What if this isn't the way that it's supposed to work out? And I've seen people literally come in, do one deal wrong, and then check out of the game forever and say this doesn't work. Well, folks, today we are here. You're here on this call. You were invited down to come check out what we do. We're going to talk about these. We're going to talk about how to overcome all of these, because this is the problem. This is what holds people back from investing. I don't want to talk about the problem. I want to talk about the solution. The solution that we've created in our community is what we call an epic solution. Okay. And the foundation of everything that Weicho is going to discuss today is education. Education is the foundation of everything we do. When you're properly educated, when you know how to locate the deals, when you know how to find a motivated seller and go have conversations with them, that all stems in education. That's how you find property. Then that's the second one, right? That's when you're properly educated. Now you can get into properties. I can't spell and talk at the same time. Okay. And when you do those correctly, then you can generate income. But the biggest reason why I hooked up with this group is because of community. I had an opportunity to network and to come in with people and rub shoulders with people that weren't just talking about this business, but they were actually doing it. Like I could come rub shoulders with Weicho and say, man, tell me about the subject to purchase. Tell me about how you go out and door knock. Tell me about how you do this. And I've got a community of people that I can connect with to help me go to the next step. Because I don't know about you, I can only speak for myself. But in my experience, I wanted to be in business for myself, but I didn't want to have to do this by myself. So the community was absolutely huge. Such a huge, huge part of my decision to get involved with this great community. So here's the problem: lack of knowledge, time, money, and credit. But then there's a solution. Every single problem has a solution. Isn't that awesome? So today we're going to talk about how to find, fund, fix, and flip properties. Now, today we start the conversation. For many of you, this is the beginning. This is the first time you've ever met us. We're going to talk about, hey, here's who we are, here's what we do, and then we invite you to come join us on Wednesday. Wednesday night, we've got an opportunity for you to come and come and learn more information about how you can get involved in this great educational program and how you can participate in our community. So the responsibility rests on your shoulder. Before we jump back over to Weicho, I want you guys to know that today we start the conversation. This is the barometer to say, hey, do you believe you can do this? Because there's really only two questions that matter today. And everything that we're going to see, everything that Weicho goes through, everything we've discussed so far today comes down to just two questions. Number one, can I do it? You got to ask yourself, can you do this? Now, I want you guys to hit me up in the chat. How many of you already believe that you can do this business of real estate investing? Just hit me up. It's a simple yes or no. Do you believe you can do this business? Let's see. Okay, we got yeses coming everywhere. Yes, 100%. We got some people, of course, otherwise you wouldn't be here on a Saturday morning. Okay, so that's good. The second part of that question, and I'm going to have you go to the chat and I'm going to have you answer for me, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Yes, you believe you can do it. If you're going to put time, if you're going to put forth the energy, the money, the resources to learn how to do this business, you've got to have some financial, some fiscal number in mind that says, if I can reach this number, it makes it worth it. Now, for this example, I want to talk on a per deal basis. How much money would you have to make per deal to answer this question? Is it worth it? I know when I got started, my minimum was $20,000. Go ahead and hit it up. Go ahead and tell me, if you're going to buy and fix and flip a property, how much do you need to make per deal? There's no wrong answer. This is your answer. This is simply your result. Let's see where we're at. We got people saying anywhere from 20,000, 35,000, 40,000, 20,000, 30,000. So we got things all over the range. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if that's your case, okay, let's look at it. Again, let me scroll through these numbers: 35, 20, 40, 20, 30, 25. So, okay, we're on this range, we're anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000. My last question to have you poll before we jump into this further. If your number is, I'm just going to jump for whoever gave me 30 grand, because that's right in the middle of where everybody was. If your number is $30,000 per house, okay? My last question for you for the poll here is, how many of those would you need to do a year before you could walk away from your job, if that was your goal, or before you could enhance your lifestyle, have some more flexibility and freedom, both financially and with time? How many of those deals would you have to do a year before you could reach whatever your outcome is? Let me see. Let me go see what people are saying. I've got some people saying 1, 3, 2, 4. So we got people all over. 12. Okay, cool. 2. That's the reality that I want to create, folks. Here right now in a market where there's so much uncertainty, where job stability is non-existent. The job stability that our parents and grandparents knew doesn't exist in today's marketplace. There's no such thing as job security. So if you believe, can you do this business? And if it's only going to take anywhere from, the average, our low water mark is 1, our high water mark is 12. So let's say for the group, those of you that participated in the poll, our average is anywhere, it's going to be about 6. 6 is middle ground. If you could do 6 deals a year at whatever your number was, again, let's say that's 30 grand, that's a potential $180,000. Now that's potential. Does that mean anything's happened yet? Of course not. You haven't done anything yet. But today, all we're looking at is, can you do it and is it worth it? Folks, we have educational services within our platform. Okay, we break our education down into 2 categories. We're going to show you how to keep your money, and we're going to show you how to grow your money. To learn how to keep your money, it's $2,500. To learn how to grow your money, it's $25,000. And I said, okay, that seems like a little bit of coin. But my question is it worth it? Is it worth it to learn how to do this business? If I could exchange $25,000, which, by the way, they offered a cash discount, so I can actually get it for $20,000, and I can get this for $2,000. From anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000, is it worth it to learn how to go out and do 6 properties a year based on your numbers with the potential of $180,000? And for me, I made the decision, yes. Folks, that's the decision. That is the question that you're going to be answering today. My objective throughout the rest of the conversation with Huicho is to prove to you why that is 100% no-brainer. Because you might be thinking, well, maybe I have to do 1 deal to get your money back, maybe 2, depending on your numbers. But literally 1 deal, you can make yourself whole and be extremely profitable. And then to make things better, the founder of our company is so awesome. He said, you know what? The best way to motivate people is to compensate people. How about we pay people to talk about us? And he provides an opportunity where once you're qualified, you can position yourself to earn $1,000 every time you recommend and somebody enrolls in the Keep Your Money program. And you can earn up to $9,000 when they enroll in the Grow Your Money program. And I said, wait a minute, you add those together, that's 10 grand. And I found with this company the greatest dual income opportunity I'd ever seen before. I knew I could make money using the product, and I have. I've done over 400 houses. I knew I could make money selling the product and helping other people, helping people that were coming to me saying, hey, how are you flipping so many houses? And it was the perfect storm. So all of this is available to you. We're going to get into that more on Wednesday, but today is about the property. Today is about the property and answering 2 questions. Can I do it? Is it worth it? With that, I'm going to invite Huicho back on screen, and we're going to have a conversation now about this property. The property that he's at in Ontario, California. We're going to show you why this makes so much sense. We're going to show you how he was able to take his specialized knowledge and go out and leverage this into huge, huge profit potential. So Huicho, I'm going to invite you to come back on screen, my friend. I think he's there. I know he's there. I see he's there. Just there he's coming. There he's coming.
Trying to figure things out.
Yeah, well, you know what? This is the cool thing about doing this remotely. But how cool is this? That I can be sitting here in Murrieta, Huicho's up at the house, and things are rocking and rolling. Hey, how are things coming? Have the keys arrived yet?
The key is approximately 2 hours and a half away, but it's on its way. I'm just kidding. But it's coming. They should be here shortly.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this house because you told us already in the intro. Let me get out of here. You told us in the intro that you've already hauled out 7 containers worth of trash.
Yes.
So obviously, when you got into this house, this thing was not. It was not turnkey. It was not ready to go. This thing was an absolute train wreck. So let's talk about the 4 things, Huicho. I want you to share with me, how did you find this house? What systems are available in our education that taught you how to find this house?
Right. So this property came across through Javier Morales, whom got an alert on his phone for notification of foreclosure for this property, right? So we have some, I mean, they're third-party tools, but tools that we use that we can lead you to and towards that indicate or tell us, hey, over here, you know, like it's like a GPS maps, like Google Maps, you know, but it just tells you foreclosure properties around your area or pretty much anywhere in California. If you're in California, any other state actually is across the U.S. But yeah, simple step by step. He gets an alert for a foreclosure process. He comes, he visits a homeowner. Homeowner doesn't know what to do. She's already tired of trying different approaches, getting misled by different people, and is not achieving anything. The property comes to minutes with an auction sale, and then we just tell her, you know what, we took it off the auction block once. We actually took it off the auction block 3 different times before she said, you know what, I'm tired, I'm done. This is it, man. But it was pretty much leveraging the community, the resources, the education, which is it is. I don't know. I kind of get stuck. You know, I think if I say about the education, if I talk about the education, it'll start sounding like a pitch because I believe so much in it. It's done so much for me and for my family and for my career. My business without the education has been nothing, right? Then I got educated and then I can't control it. I literally have voiced out to the universe, I don't want any more properties. And you know what happened? The phone rings. The phone rings 30 minutes later. We have another one. Why? Because we have the resources in place. We have the great community. We know, and our community knows that stuff gets done, right? Yeah. So in this particular case, the lady felt that we had the resources in place to help her get out of the situation. And we ended up with this pile of trash for now. Diamond in the rough, for sure.
I want to ask people that are online watching. Okay, so how many of you, if you had access to the same tools, could follow that process? Could you sign into a software program that gives you automatic notification when a property within your defined geographical boundaries, you set the parameters? Could you set up a boundary to learn to have a notification when a property comes in? Yes or yes? Of course you could. Okay, so then that's how you found the property. Now you've got to discover what's going on with the house. Weecho discovered she was going into foreclosure. The house was going to auction. She was going to lose the house. She's going to lose the house. It's going to be sold at trustee sale. She walks away. She gets nothing. Okay, that's not a good solution. So he steps in and starts negotiating with her and does a whole bunch of creative acquisitions to be able to purchase this property. Well, let's talk about the numbers on this house. And all real estate deals, you work backwards. Every single real estate deal, you work backwards. And so as we're working backwards, let's think about this. We start with the ARV in mind. So we start with after repair value. So Weecho, when you first started running numbers on this house, you start with the ARV, you work backwards, you say, look, I'm going to have some repair costs, I'm going to have some carrying costs. Let's talk about those numbers a little bit.
Right. So ARV for this property, we feel, I mean, we don't feel, we know the market is $580,000 to $600,000 for ARV.
Okay, so $580,000 to $600,000. Okay, now how much? What did it require for you to acquire this house? Before we start talking about repairs, let's talk about what did you have to do in order to buy this house?
Bring it current.
Okay, so you brought it current. She's behind on payments. You're able to go in, bring her loan current, and leave the existing financing in place. So how much did it cost you to bring it current?
$50,000.
Okay, bring current, 50,000. All right, and then what's the existing mortgage on the house?
49,000.
49,000. Okay, so you're about $100,000 into it there. $100,000. Now, how did you fund this deal? The 40. Are you going to have some carrying costs and things like that as well?
Yes, we're going to have some carrying costs, which I kind of ran those numbers into my other costs, which repair costs, and all bundled up.
Okay. So all of this, the bringing it current, all of those costs are calculated into that. How
Yeah.
about your rehab? Is that what you mean? You put it into your rehab costs?
Yes.
How much
So
is your rehab on this going to be?
everything is going to be 150,000.
So look at that, folks. 150 grand plus 100,000. You're into a property for $250,000 that you can then sell for 580 to 600. Do the math, folks. Right? Do the math. You've got a profit potential of $330 to $380,000 on this deal. Now, again, do you folks believe you can do this? Can you find a property? Can you fund a property? What kind of rehab? 150,000, you can basically rebuild this house.
Right. Well, actually, you know what? An option from the city was fix it off of our checklist, our punch list, or demo the whole thing.
Wow.
You know, there was so much wrong with this property that it was option A or B. So we said, okay, let's clean it up out of the trash and see what we can, then we'll decide. But yeah, you could do tons with that.
So 150,000, and unfortunately, it doesn't sound like the keys are going to arrive in time for us to see the interior today. But folks, for 150,000, you can pretty much rebuild the entire house. I mean, you're going to have new fixtures, you're going to have new flooring, you're going to have new cabinets, new countertops. The bones of the house are good. Right? It's like a property that we're doing. It's like a property that we're doing out in San Jacinto that some of you may have seen last week. The house was filthy, absolutely full of trash, but the bones were perfect. All we needed to do was paint, carpet, landscaping, new countertops, and we were good to go. So, all right. So again, how many of you would you agree that it's worth his time with a potential profit of over $300,000? And folks, this is Huicho's example. This is Huicho's example of exercising and utilizing his education. There's no guarantee of result that you're going to do the same thing. His results are not your results. I should have, there's a disclaimer that I should have up. I don't have it right at the moment, but you get the point. There's no guarantee that you're going to do the same thing, but it's all because he decided to get educated. Now I've got questions that are coming in here, and people are saying, hey, well, what about the holding costs? Are there going to be other fees? Yes, of course. And Huicho said he's calculated those into his rehab budget. Did the seller deed the property before you caught up the payments? Well, typically on that, Stevie, what we do is it's a simultaneous thing. I know when I buy property subject to that, it occurs simultaneously. We receive the deed at the time that we bring the property current. It's called subject to the existing financing. We do an all-inclusive trust, but I don't want to get off to the weeds on that. But suffice it to say that everything that we do on these properties, we cover in the education. Huicho, is it worth your time? Is it worth your time to get invested, to get educated in this business? I think you just went on mute.
There?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay. You know what's interesting is I've reached the peak of my past career. Okay. There was nowhere else to go. There was nowhere else to go. I mean, I was at the top of the top. And I loved it. And I did it for many years, 20 plus. Then I got into real estate investing. In 5 years, my entire life changed. And not only my life, but that of everyone around me. Friends and family that just needed some advice with their own properties. The future of my kids has drastically changed. Get this. I'm just going to put it out because this alone pays off my whole education. Okay, what I'm about to say. My son's going to buy his first house. My son actually just gave his deposit for a first house. Yes, I helped him structure the deal through my education. It's a manufactured home. He's got the money to jump in it himself, but he's partnering up with one of my partners because it could be a great venture for both. My son's only 12 years old, and he's already buying his first house through the education that I've gotten and I've shared with him. You know, that's how powerful this is. this is not even about me or my career anymore. This is about just making my generation better, or his for that matter, right? So when we talk about, is it worth it? Oh my God, as a father and the responsibility that I have on my shoulders to make a better generation out of his generation, it's, to me, it's just a no-brainer, you know? So like I say, everything I say will sound like a pitch because I just believe in it so much. Off of
Hey, you know
facts,
what?
off of results, off of action, you know? The great
It's
community, the
okay.
leverage, you know?
It's okay if it sounds like a pitch, because I told people we're here to sell you. We're here to sell you. We can't help you. We can't serve you until we sell you. I hope you guys get that. We invite you into our property tours. We invite you to come and see what we're doing. Did you hear that? We invite you to come and see what we are doing. This is not something we're talking about. This is something we're doing. We're inviting you to come do it with us. We don't just talk about real estate investing. We create real estate investors. Folks, this is a beautiful house. This is going to be amazing up in Ontario. We're going to have an opportunity to see this. Weecho does everything from single family homes all the way to 84 unit buildings. He's doing a ground up build right now. Where's that property located?
Loma Linda.
Loma Linda, California. And the beauty of this education is once I got educated, I paid for my education one time. I paid once, and the education, they keep adding more and more value, more and more classes to our portal. It's lifetime access for you and another individual. Those are the questions that we are going to bring up, and those are the questions that we're going to answer on Wednesday night. Folks, I congratulate you for being here. We wanted to get you a peek behind the curtain of who we are, what we're doing today. This is an amazing property for Weecho. I've never come on and done a property tour that's got a $300,000 profit potential. Never. My highest deal ever was $163,000. My worst deal was $121. And everywhere in between. That's the business. But what I had to answer before anything else mattered, before all of the details of, well, how do you know how to do this? How do you know how to do that? How do you calculate these? None of that mattered until I knew, was this business for me? Could I do it? Is it worth it? For me personally, I answered yes. I knew I could do it. I'd seen so many other people having success. And so I got started into my education. Wednesday night, we're going to go over it. We're going to go into more detail of each and every one of the classes. We're going to talk about how you can get started. We're going to talk about how you can fund it. Today, I've already introduced you to the price points. You already know, before you join us on Wednesday, you already know how much our education costs. But I love that phrase because I don't believe education costs. I believe that if it makes you money, it costs you nothing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I congratulate you for being here. I put the responsibility back on your shoulder to reach out to the person that gave you the invitation to this link, because that's the only way you get here. You're invited by one of our marketers. They put you on. Now it's your responsibility to reach out to them, get the information to join us on Wednesday night. Weecho, I'm going to give you the last word as we sign out for today, man. And I thank you for allowing us into your property.
Oh man, you know what? I apologize
exterior
for the
property.
miss. I apologize for the miss on the key, and actually, the key just got here.
Did it get there?
It just got here. We're just
You know
opening
what?
the door.
Open up that house. People are still on. We usually wrap this up in 30 minutes, but you guys want to see this house, don't you? I mean, I'm sitting in a comfortable air-conditioned house. This is great. You know what, Weecho? Everybody's saying no, they don't want to see it. They don't want to see inside.
All right, let's go.
Oh, just kidding. Everybody's like, yes, yes, yes. We want to.
Oh man.
Maybe we should hold them in suspense. Maybe we should only show this on Wednesday night. No, I'm just. All right, Weecho, tell us, man. Tell us about the house. Let's walk through this thing.
Okay, so right around where you walk in the house, off to this side right here, right immediately to the right, we found a dead cat. Okay, and it was I mean, just a little fur and the bones left. Everything else was gone. So it'd be sitting there for I don't know how long. So the stench was, I mean, it's been the grossest I've been in for sure. Pulled out 2 cats and 1 dead dog out of this house. I mean, it was piles and piles of trash everywhere. it was just messy. It's like as soon as you walked into the property, your eyes would water. You could feel the filth in your pores. That's how, when you walk out, it's super sticky because there was so much stuff up in the air. And the homeowner was stuck living here. She got tired of trying. She got tired of trying all the wrong things with all the wrong people until we came and gave her true options. And then, she decided allow us to help her proceed with doing everything to get to this point.
And I want to remind you guys, as he's going through this, keep in mind, this is after 7 containers, 40-yard dumpsters, 7 container-fulls has been hauled out of this house.
Right.
Hey, that's your balcony. Don't step out that door.
No, we still have, I'm going to say, a good 2 containers between all the fencing, all that trash, everything that's still in here. Oh, by the way, that's for sale if anybody wants to make an offer.
The motorhome?
The motorhome, yeah. And then we have like 4 or 5 container fulls of concrete that we have to demo out. We've been doing a little bit of drywall work that was stripped away. This was just full of fabric and different things. These are personal belongings that we have to get out of here. The garage is full with black bags of just clothes. Tons and tons of clothes.
Weicho, I want to interrupt you real quick. As you're walking through, showing us the house, I think it's really important to mention, we forgot to mention one of the most important parts of this entire deal, which we're highlighting. We have highlighted the profit potential of 330 all the way up to 380,000. And people might be tempted to look at this and say, man, you're taking advantage of this lady. That's not the case. What's happening? How much of that money is this lady who is going to get nothing? How much of this money is she going to receive?
60%. We went on the 60-40 agreement on the profit. So the proceeds, 60% of the proceeds after this is sold is going to go to her.
So nearly, if on the low end of 330,000, the seller, folks, let's put this into perspective. This is really important. The lady who was going to lose her home to foreclosure was going on the foreclosure block 3 times before Weicho finally got her to work with her. He stopped foreclosure 3 times, finally brought the loan current, took over her mortgage payment, stepped in, completely saved her from that regard. She's going to walk away with over $200,000 in her pocket.
Right.
It's so something she could have. Professional problem solver. That's what Weicho's getting paid for. Right.
Yes, that's real. That's the core of this business. You could be an enthusiast in the business, right? You can be a hobbyist in the business, or you can be a professional in the business. And that's completely up to you. Some people decide to just touch and go, which is cool. They just come and check the box. Some people do want to indeed change their life and the pattern of their life, just as bad as I did when I first got into the business. In my mind, or at least something that would resonate with a bunch of, I want to say almost 100% of you, is there was a story stuck in my mind where someone asked me at one point, it's like, what can you say about your grandpa? And I'm like, well, my grandpa, he's a hard worker. What did he teach your dad to be a hard worker? Okay. What did your dad teach you to be a hard worker? What do you want to give your kids? I'm like, oh my God. I automatically went into the point of, I'm a construction worker. No disrespect to the efforts of my dad, right? Construction is a great industry, a huge industry. But he was just doing what he was taught. And nobody in all those generations broke that pattern, broke that cycle. And I said, you know what? I got to step in and I got to break this away from my kids. I wouldn't want my kids battering away their life under the sun in construction. If there's a different way of doing things, I'm going to pioneer that into our generation and our family.
our family tree. And I did, and I'm so glad I did. Like I said, I am obsessed and with our education, my belief level in changing not only my course of my future, but that of the loved ones around me is nothing more than just being educated. And that's what got me here. That's what allowed me to help this lady be in a better spot. She's actually, gained weight. She had been, the day we moved her out of here, I think it had been 4 months since she showered. And now she's showered. She's taking her medicine, per doctor's orders, whatever that schedule is, her getting fed. I mean, just her life changed completely. She's taken care of. And now I get all these messages from her family, of gratitude all the time. It's like, thank you for stepping up and doing something we didn't even know what to do or where to start. So it goes beyond the business, way beyond the business, So, and I'm grateful for that. Grateful for my community, the education platform, and then having Kendall, Darren to go to, and if I'm stuck, because I'm a professional, but professionals also get stuck. You know what? But I own it, and then I reach out, leverage our community, and keep growing.
It's fun. I remember you told me a story. You got stuck on this house. I didn't even know it was this house we were talking about. And we were trying, it was early on in the phase when you were trying to figure out all of the power of attorney. And we were sitting in the office in Riverside. You asked a question and I'm like, oh, how about you do this? And that was that.
It was 2 minutes.
It's the power of a community. It's not that I know anything you don't know. It's just, it's just masterminding. Well, I don't know, maybe you could do this.
Right.
And how cool to have a community that you can reach out to have those ideas. Folks, you're going to learn on Wednesday night that we've got mastermind opportunities for you to plug into every single week when you join the team. So, man, I wish we had time for Wicho to go in and tell the backstory, because we focus on the profitability. But if you understood how much he had to take in, like become a part of this woman's life and put her up in a new facility, get her health care, get her the medical attention she needed, get her situated when her own family's like, we don't even know how to do that. So Wicho, the reason Wicho makes this kind of money is because he cares that much about the people and solving the problem. If you're only in this business for money, then we're probably not the community for you. Right. But if you're truly about giving back and helping people and paying it forward, then you got a lot to learn. You got a lot to learn here. There's so much available to you to be able to take access of. So Wicho, so stoked you got the keys. Thank you for showing us around. Guys, we only stayed on about 15 minutes longer than normal, but I believe you would agree it was well worth the time. So I congratulate you guys for being here. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. And again, I told you the 100%, the responsibility rests on your shoulders to get back with the person who invited you down here. And we will see you guys on Wednesday night. Wicho, thanks again, buddy.
Right on. Have a great weekend, everyone. Be safe.
See you guys.
Yep. Bye.